ahead and go to the villain support characters.
The villains have 2 1-drops, only 2 1-drops, because they don't get the sweet one of a kind. I'm not bitter about it, except for I'm super bitter about it. And actually, I'm a big fan of both of these cards.
Both of these cards are really, really interesting.
So first we have Killian. He's a 1-cost 1/1/1, which
terrible. This guy's bad. Get him out of here.
Viv Vision is weeping that she can't play this card in her deck.
That's awesome too. Like, man, I'm all about like, hey, let's just get this 4 XP.
His ability, the Extremis Virus. Pay a green.
Okay.
Put 3 +1/+1 counters on another character.
How about my main character?
I think that's a great idea. What if our main character was Thor?
I'm in. Wait, that doesn't work.
Why not?
Because he can't. Because he's been exiled.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. That's a non-vote.
Yeah.
That's bad. But
no, not Thor. Not Thor.
The Abomination.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
That makes him what, a 6/7 on turn 1?
What if you drop some greens on this guy?
Then he has no strings on him.
No strings.
So obviously, reverse lightning bolt. It's weird how that works. Like, a reverse lightning strike is pretty cool. Pretty good. And even if you're just playing against Thor,
just
saying, okay, you can't. Even if you bolt me, now we're on even playing ground, right?
It's not bad.
He's really fragile though.
Yeah.
So that's the.
But I would argue if you play him and get the green off, you have more than paid for the cost value proposition there. You've more than paid for it.
Probably.
The other 1-drop, Whiplash. He is a 1-cost 2/2 with 2 wounds. Stays on the board a little bit longer.
Those are good stats.
Those are real good stats.
For a 1-drop, right? Those are solid. I like that.
Pay a blue for energy whips. Put a -1/-1 counter on an enemy character.
Okay.
If it's in the back row, move it to its front row.
Get over here.
Yeah. We just scorpion it up, pull somebody up. They can't protect people. Mm-hmm. You're trying to protect your Falcon in the back row? No, sir. Falcon needs to die.
I can play this, pay a blue, and stun your Dark Phoenix with him.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
If you're hiding your Falcon, I can make him a 0/3.
0/3, as long as my main character has 3 attack.
Bring him on up to Pound Town.
Yeah.
Population Whiplash.
Also, I don't think he's too bad in Thor. Because you can, Thor has to make that solo attack on turn 1. So you can weaken whatever he needs to get into. So hopefully get the stun, not take the stun back. It's not... So he won't be able to team attack with Thor in future turns. But on turn 1, he doesn't need to team attack. Right. He has a solo attack.
And then turn 2, you can play maybe a Black Widow.
Yeah.
And then team attack. And she probably has enough stats to survive.
Yeah. And then turn 3, hopefully 2 1-drops or something like that. So you could, or your Black Widow.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. You sold me on Whiplash.
Yeah. Doing my job.
All right. 2 drops.
I think, is there only 2. 1? No, there's 2.
There is 2.
Yeah.
One of them is one of a kind.
Yes.
So that one will take a little bit to talk about.
So first off, easy one. We have Crossbones. He's a big boy.
That's a 2-cost 5/5.
That is you remember when I was talking about Black Widow being a 2-cost 2/5 and going crazy about it?
Yeah. So the last character who was a 2-cost that we had a 6/6 who was friendly. Couldn't attack.
Could not attack. Crossbones is not friendly.
Crossbones is not friendly.
He has been waiting for this. He can only attack main characters.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad, especially in a 5/5.
Because
there's a very few.
Let's look at some because nobody can level up on one outside of Banner, right?
Right.
So let's look at some MCs here.
Over here.
So Banner, let's not count Banner. So
Abomination, he stuns.
Okay.
Ironmonger, he stuns.
Okay.
Loki, he stuns.
Okay.
Ronan, he stuns.
Okay. Iron Man, yep. Thor, yep. Captain America, yep. Star-Lord, yep.
And those are only movie cards, but also is there only 2 MCs with more than 5 defense in the comic universe?
I'm trying to think.
Because Mystique has 6 and Ghost Rider has 6.
I think Loki also has 6.
Okay.
But it's definitely not common, right?
Yeah. So a majority of MCs he gets after and he kills.
On turn 2. And the worst that happens is maybe you trade a plot twist for it, right? But
and he's also got the extra added bonus of he makes Taskmaster worse. He makes my opponent's Taskmasters worse.
There's a few cards in this set that actually do that, and it's really interesting. Like, because of the way they're worded, like, I was like, because that's like one of my rules is when I go, I'm like, how does this card interact with Taskmaster?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think off the top of my head which ones there were. We might have to come back to that at the end.
Yeah, cards that make Taskmaster worse.
Because I remember there was another one that I was like, man, that's interesting that doesn't work very well with Taskmaster. Like if you're playing as Taskmaster.
So that's Crossbones. Big old boy punches big old boys.
Okay.
Then we've got the Mandarin. He is a one of a kind. You'll never see me coming. When Mandarin is KO'd, remove him from the game.
Okay.
If you do, put a random card from behind the camera into your hands.
What does that mean?
Okay.
So you've stunned him, I remove him from the game.
Now, we've got 3 cards in our behind the camera pile.
Okay.
One is Trevor Slattery.
Okay, what's that?
He is a 0-1, starts your behind the camera pile. It's just a roll. Trevor can't appear or be played as a resource.
That's terrible.
Yes. We have another Trevor Slattery.
I don't like that.
Again, cannot be played or...
I don't like what this guy does.
Well, there's one other card.
Okay, maybe.
It's the 10 rings.
We'll see. That says 10-10.
It also says 0 costs. A 0 costs 10-10.
Okay.
At the end of the turn, or if 10 rings would leave play, put it behind the camera.
Okay, so it's only once... Like, you get this for, like, a play it, attack, and then it's done. You don't get it forever again.
Right. Well, because this gets removed from the game, right?
Yeah.
So it's not coming back.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, a one-shot 10-10, you don't necessarily have to play it on the first turn.
Also, like, Mandarin's a 2-cost 4-4.
Those aren't bad stats. That's almost as big as Crossbones.
Yeah. We were just talking about a 5-5 with a chance of getting a 10-10.
It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
I also... Let's just remember that these are 2 costs. Because we will come back to that. We might come back to that later.
I see where you're going with that. Holy cow.
Because I think that works the way I want it to.
It does, and wow, I didn't think about that. That's awesome. Let's move on to our 3 costs.
Yeah, let's move on to our 3 drops. We got a couple just other more stellar cards. The Destroyer, he's a 3-cost 5/3 with range. 1 wound, but you can pay a blue and give him +5 attack this combat.
So turn 3, I can just come at you for 10?
Yep.
Range.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
We've also got Nebula. She is a 3-cost 4/4 with 1 wound. With Rivalry, when she appears, you name a character. Nebula gets +4/+4 while in combat against supporting characters with that name. So one, she can get really beefy on turn 3, especially against a card that like either has multiple wounds, like a Jessica Jones or something like that. Or a card that they might be wanting to play multiple times.
Okay.
But also, she can come down on turn 6 and kill a lot of 6 drops.
Yeah. Underdropping her is fine.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, this is a card that you want to play when your opponent has a Taskmaster in play.
Yes.
You don't want to play this card when you think your opponent is
about to play
a Taskmaster.
Yes. But yeah, I think both of those cards are super solid. Pretty straightforward what they do. They just get bigger.
They both have 1 wound, right?
Both 1 wound.
Okay. What we got on the 4-drop department? We saw the Winter Soldier.
We got some spicy things on the 4-drop department.
All right, hit me with it.
First off, we got the Ironmonger.
All right.
He is a 4-cost 5/5 with flight and ranged and 1 wound.
Interesting that this also mirrors
Iron Man. Yes. But his ability, the Golden Goose. My man is a Valkyrie for your opponent's discard pile.
I don't want my opponent to recruit from the discard pile.
No, but we get to recruit from the discard pile.
Oh, that's pretty good. So for the low cost of a yellow.
And it works differently from the main character, Ironmonger.
Okay.
The main character, Ironmonger, chooses a character in an opponent's discard pile and can recruit at that. Or in another player's discard pile. It doesn't have to be an opponent. Okay. We talked about that earlier.
We talked about
that. This one chooses another player. You can recruit characters from their KO pile this turn. So you can take multiple characters.
So let's say they're playing Peggy Compo.
Right.
You could take Peggy Carter.
Yep.
And then their Black Widow.
Yep.
And then their Black Widow.
Yep.
And then their Black Widow.
Yes.
And then again.
Yes.
And another one.
And just keep going.
So when I saw this card, we talked about that exact scenario, but we talked about how I live in magical Christmas land, where before all that, I was playing Iron Man level 2, and I paid a blue.
And then you just draw.
I draw my whole deck.
Just the whole thing.
It's just
I don't hate it, but I think that is a bit of a mirror.
It will never happen.
Magical Christmas Land.
But if it happens, you better believe I am letting everybody know. I like this guy.
Next we have Ronan. 4 cost, 3/6, 2 wounds. Also mirrors Star-Lord's stats.
That's interesting.
You stand accused. Pay a green. KO an enemy face-down character. He is just extinguished on a stick.
Supporting character.
Yeah, supporting character.
Not main character.
Why can't you just let me make things broken?
Listen, I would be in.
I like the fact that he's got 2 wounds. So you can play him on turn 4, not necessarily get the value off of him on turn 4, and then still have him on turn 5 most likely.
Yeah.
Outside of another Ronin.
Even having a Ronin out might deter your opponent from playing a 2 or 3 wound character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that ability is really good. Like, just Extinguish in general. Like, a lot of people really liked Extinguish, but didn't necessarily like to play the team that it was attached to.
Yeah.
So I'm in on this card.
Yeah. And
let's go to our 5 cost, which is actually, I know, one of your favorite cards in the set. Is a 5 cost.
Yeah. It's this particular 5 cost right here.
Is there another 5 cost?
There is.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Is there another one after that?
No, those are the only 2. I'm going to talk about Malekith first, because I'm going to say Char Leviathan for the second.
Okay.
So Malekith, he has a 5 cost, 6/7 with 1 wound, which is huge. 5 cost, 6/7 is really big.
Yeah, that's pretty good stats. I was like thinking through like other 6 costs or 5
costs.
I was thinking they're 6 costs, which makes them even better.
And then his ability, Eternal Night. Pay a yellow. Remove an enemy hand from the game face down. At the end of the turn, put those cards back into that player's hand. What is really good about this is I can, before I start making attacks, look at the board, pay this yellow, and now I know nothing is going to change their side of the board.
Right.
I have all the information.
They don't have dramatic entrances in their hand. They don't have Think Again.
Nope.
They don't have
power-ups.
They
don't have any resources to play from hand for superpowers.
Defense. Yeah. They don't have, actually, Dutch doesn't have his yellow in his hand.
Right.
To break your neck.
So, like, this just evens it puts all the cards in my hand for that combat.
So it does not even the playing field.
Yeah.
It gives you all information.
Yeah. So
there can't be a 5-drop better than him.
Well, let me introduce you to the Chitauri Leviathan.
For you guys don't know, that was the giant thing that was like flying through the city in the Avengers movie.
Yeah. He has a 5 cost, 4/6 with flight and 2 wounds.
Okay.
He's not as big as Malekith.
Nope.
But he has some words on him. First word is Swarm.
So yeah, multiple of them out.
This is the highest cost with Swarm I believe we've ever had.
The dragon and them don't have it because they're unique. I'm trying, like, Xenomorphs are probably the ones. Yeah, I don't think so. I think our 4-drop is the highest before this.
Yeah. Which typically swarm characters you want low costs.
Mm-hmm.
But
like he has multiple wounds, so like you can play one, he gets stunned, and then like the next turn you play another one.
Yeah.
And so you have 2.
And they have multiple. Yeah, it's really good. Then, Interstellar Transport.
Okay.
Pay a red.
All right.
Ready another villain's character.
Okay.
It has flight this turn.
That's pretty good.
So let's just say we had 2 of these guys out.
Okay.
Quick. I attack with this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay the red on this one. Ready this one.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and attack with this one real quick.
All right.
I'm gonna pay the red on this one. Ready this one.
Now they can team attack.
Yep. Or let's grab another villain's character real quick.
How about the MC Abomination?
How about Winter Soldier?
Oh, that's a pretty good one too.
We're gonna put Winter Soldier in our back row real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot your Dark Phoenix. I got Combat Master, so you can't dramatic entrance.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pay the red.
All right.
Now I've got Flight and Ranged. I'm gonna shoot literally anything else on your board.
That's pretty good.
I have Combat Master again. Now I'm gonna attack with my Chitauri Leviathan. Okay, I got stunned. This card is incredible. X Factor. Another one of those plot twists that's like really good, but people didn't love playing the team that it was associated with a lot, especially once we got out of like just the first set.
Yeah.
Although X-Men have gotten better because they just got a lot of support in the last arc.
Yes.
But this is the first like X Factor on a stick we've seen, and it gives flight.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it's on a character with Swarm, so we can potentially get this effect off multiple times in one turn.
And another thing to remember is that if you're playing like maybe your shop does a we're only going to do cinematic tonight. There's not a lot of characters with flight.
No.
So, like, giving a character flight, it can be really detrimental.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's great. He is really good.
Yeah. The only thing that makes it bad is if they have a falcon. So if you haven't killed the falcon before you give somebody flight, that's the only thing that makes it worse.
Don't like that.
Outside of that, it's freaking great.
And those were only the 5 drops.
Now let's talk about the 6 drops.
Let's talk about the 6 drops.
Both of these cards are so good.
This set is just like super fun. It's super hype. I'm super excited to get in and play with these cards.
First we have Abomination. He's a 6 cost 6/6 with 2 wounds.
Okay.
Just like his MC level 2, he's got Monstrous.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Unlike his MC level 2, he has a new keyword called Jealous.
Alright, how about we break down what Jealous means?
When another character gains 1 or more +1/+1 counters,
Thor.
You may put a +1/+1 counter on Abomination.
Thor attacks, I get a counter, you get a counter.
Right.
I play Loyal Soldiers for my, 4 characters.
Oh, I'll get 4 +1/+1 counters.
That's pretty great. Now, the only thing is, maybe I play Killian, and I get 3 +1/+1 counters.
I only get 1.
That sucks.
But mine was free.
But mine was free. Yeah, exactly. So Jealous, I think, is a really cool, potentially very powerful keyword.
Yeah. They talked about this on the collective. There is like a pseudo infinite loop with Jealous.
I have one and you have one.
Well, if both of us have an instance of Jealous, whether it be both of us have an Abomination or I have an Abomination, you have a Taskmaster.
Okay.
If one of us gets a +1/+1 counter, it's like there would be an infinite loop, essentially.
Because neither one of us are going to back down.
Right. But then it's like...
I think it's the active
player bids a number, and the non-active player can bid a higher number, and then whatever the highest number out of those two is...
I think it's the active player decides when it's going to stop.
Okay.
So, like, I could say, all right, I will keep doing this 300 times. Well, then after my 300th activation, you get to trigger it, but I'm done. That's when I've stopped.
Okay.
So...
It's just weird. It's a weird interaction.
It's not going to be super common, but, like, if you're playing an Abomination with as much as Taskmaster is played, it is likely to come up. So it is good to know.
And as great as Abomination is, Red Skull might be better.
Listen.
Red Skull is a 6 cost. It's 5/8 with ranged and 1 wound.
Those are fine stats.
Fine stats!
Those, again, like, let's go back to Loki from the first set. He was a 7 cost who was a 7/7, no flight, no range.
Yeah.
So we've got the 14, or no, we have 13 stat here.
Yeah.
Instead of the 14, but we have range.
And we cost 1 less.
We cost 1 less.
But Red Skull here has seen the future, and there are no flags.
Okay.
Enemy players can't play equipment, locations, or plot twists that have team affiliations. You don't get Think Again. You don't get Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You don't get Dramatic Entrance. You don't get Net Launcher. You don't get Catfight. You don't get...
a lot of really good cards, right? Now, it is worth mentioning that, say I'm playing Thor, and I have an Avengers Mansion. I cannot lay that Avengers Mansion out as a resource. But I can discard it for his superpower.
Yes.
Because that's not playing, that's discarding.
Could you also play it face down, and then somewhere along the line, play it Iron Man and flip it back face up?
You could, because the game state doesn't see that it has a team affiliation. So
there's a little bit of a way to get around that, at least for locations. So, but it turns off so much. Yeah. Just like Malekith, where it's just like, I know that you can't play plot twists.
That's a huge advantage.
Yeah, and this is static, and you don't have to pay a resource for it.
I'm in. You had me at hello.
Yeah, and then you got Chitauri Leviathan in the front row. Protecting him. You got 3 Chitauri Leviathans up there.
Now that we've talked about that card, we're just going to keep going back to it. I know we are. Let's go to our 7-drop. Because we only have 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. The 7-drop.
The 7-drop is pretty sweet.
This guy.
He has the same stat line. Well, not the same stat line. He has the same number of stats as the original Loki 7-drop.
Yeah.
We have 6/8, so we have 14 stats worth. So we have 2 instead of 1.
Grabbed an extra 1.
So
he has a power.
It's a good power.
He is burdened with glorious purpose. Once per turn, anytime you could play an anytime combat plot twist, you may discard a character card to give a character in the combat plus attack and plus defense equal to the discarded card's cost.
So it's once per turn. I can discard a Hulk 7 and get plus 7 plus 7.
But you don't even have to go that big.
Plus 5 plus 5.
Plus 5.
That's pretty good.
Heck, plus 2 is an Earth's Mightiest Avengers.
Yeah, and we could potentially have a 2 cost that we can't play or lay as a resource.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about with Trevor Slattery earlier. If you end up not getting the 10 rings and you just get the behind the camera Trevor Slattery, this is the only way that you're getting him out of your hand. And he's an Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's an Earth's Mightiest Heroes that gets around the good book, too, because it's not a plot twist.
And it gets around opponent Red Skulls, because it's not a plot twist.
And you're not playing it. You're discarding it. So, I like Loki's, some of the synergies he has, like you said, with this card, and just like, if you're playing the set, you might not have as many plot twists, or there's going to be a real war between him and Hulk on
what's the best
which is going to get the 7-drop slot when you're playing from the
especially with just this box.
Yeah, when you're playing from the cinematic set, but it's going to be interesting to see which one ends up being better. But I think he's really good.
Well, and also because like it implies this on the card, but I just feel like it's worth mentioning. This is any combat you could play in any combat plot twist. So like Loki doesn't have to be involved. It can be your MC over here, and you can just be like, nah, I'm gonna
plus 2 him.
Yeah, I'm gonna plus 5 him. Like, you get to have him out, and like again, it gives you that insane defensive sort of thing where it's just like your opponent doesn't know what you could have.
He didn't know,
and then you just get blown out by it.
That's great. So now we're down to plot twists and locations. Let's just run through locations real quick because they're not that different.
Yeah.
We got our Hero Wild, which is going to be the Avengers Tower. Then we've got the Villains Wild, which is going to be the
Sokovia.
Sokovia. That's where they went in Age of Ultron, right?
Yeah.
It's weird that was that's what they chose as the
villains.
The Villain Wild, because it wasn't really Ultron's like base. It was just where he attacked, right? I thought.
Well, like he had set up a base there. And that's how it was, because they were working underground.
I just thought that was the place that he was lifting up to drop down.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's confusing.
Listen, in the MCU, until the last 2 movies that have come out, there have not been like a plethora of great villains that have happened.
Borrow 2 of these real quick.
Okay.
So our basics for the set are, if you haven't gathered it from the characters yet, Laboratory, Academy, Training Ground, and Fortress, which are green, red, yellow, and blue. Just basic locations, man.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy or
How
too
many,
special.
In this side, give me 8 greens and 8 reds and 2 yellows. How many, what do you have over in your side of the pack?
This came from you.
Oh, this
came from you. So you had 2 yellows?
2 yellows, 8 greens, and 8 reds.
Let's see here. I have 4... I have 8 blues. So you didn't have any blue, right?
No blue.
I have 4, and I have
6.
Yeah.
Okay, so you end up with 8 of each resource.
8 of each resource. I think I had more location, or I'm not sure.
No, I had more locations because you had the one of a kinds.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, so yeah, you put those back with yours.
It's fine.
I'll put this in mine.
Okay.
So let's.
I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, because that was weird that you only had 2 of those yellows in yours, so people don't get concerned. Why do they keep giving me these words? Sokovia Quartz. No, you move, and we will save this one for a minute because these are the 2 team stamps.
Yes.
For heroes. So the Sokovia Quartz is any combat plot twist. Remove all +1/+1 counters from an enemy character in combat. So your Thor, your Shield Iron Man, your new Iron Man.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other guys with +1/+1. Abomination. The Ironmonger.
Yeah.
It's even the odds that doesn't affect things like Catfight.
Yeah.
It just affects the
+1/+1,
which are probably the more common things that you have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is probably, in my opinion, and this take this with a grain of salt because it's just my opinion. I don't know anything clearly. this is the weakest card in the set, probably.
You might be right, because this set is just freaking stacked.
Yeah. I think it's still playable. I don't know how...
It's just niche, right? If you think Thor is going to be like a big part of whatever meta you're playing in, it's probably going to be relevant.
Right. Because it's weird, because like there's decks that you'll play against that +1/+1 counters will have no relevance.
Mm-hmm. Dark Phoenix.
Right. But then there's also decks that... The decks that +1/+1 counters matter, like Thor or Venom, they matter a lot, right? So, it's one of those I'm on the fence cards. No, you move. Any combat, choose a character on your side in combat, get +3 defense this combat. At the end of combat, you may move an enemy character in the combat to its front row or back row. So this is a fine cover for heroes.
Yes.
But... at the end of, like, so say your Foom attacks me.
Yeah.
And you have everyone behind Foom.
Yeah.
You attack me. I play No You Move, knowing full well that it is not going to stop the stun. But at the end of combat, I'm going to take your Foom, put it in your back row, and then I can get to your...
You can get to his everything, yeah.
Or, well, of course, this is a fine example. I could... use my Ironmonger to recruit a Foom from your graveyard, and then I can attack your full back row.
Yeah.
And kill everything. So...
like, I actually think this plot twist is really good. Being able to move people's formation around has always been a pretty powerful power, because that's like...
I think it's a very underrated power.
Yeah. It's... especially if you're able to manipulate their flyers. You can move their Jessica Jones, you can move their Foom, or you can pull... their ranged dudes that are a problem up to the front row. You could depend.
Punisher, Dark Phoenix,
Hawkeye, the 6-drop Hawkeye. Especially as these cards are super new, it's cards like this people may not play around as much for a little while. So like they may just make the flat out just like my 7 attack into your 7 defense. And then you move, you blanket, and you get to pull that threat up to the front so that you can kill it. Yeah. That's really good. It's really, really good.
I like it. I like it. So, those are the hero plot twists. Let's do the villain ones real quick.
All right. We have...
a few more cards left.
Yeah, we're down to the last ones. We have I Have an Army. It is the loyal soldiers for just supporting characters, but it doesn't have the loyal soldier stipulation. You put a +1/+1 counter on each supporting character on your side.
So they don't even have to be on the same team?
Nope.
Just all my little scrubs.
Just a side note with one abomination here.
So let's live in the magical Christmas land where I have abomination and like...
let's put 3.
So it's 3 other support characters out. My MC. So my MC is not going to get any +1/+1 counters.
Yeah.
But when I play, I Have an Army. We're going to get +1 counter here, 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 and here.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Abomination sees him get a counter, he's jealous, he gets another one. He sees Loki get a counter, he's jealous, he gets another one. He sees Red Skull get a counter, he's jealous, he gets another one. So for this one plot twist, you have 4 characters out, you got, what was that, 7 +1/+1 counters?
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's not terrible. I'm not going to be upset about that. So, if I think this card is fine, it's going to be better when you're going to be able to more play towards it. Because right now, with only one set, you're kind of stuck into a curved deck.
Yeah.
But if you can get like an off-curve deck, that's when it could really shine.
You could. There's an off-curve deck you could play because it doesn't check. It only checks whether it's a supporting character or not on the same team. Mm-hmm. So you've got like Baby Groot, Heimdall, Killian, Crossbones, Black Widow,
the 4 one-of-a-kinds.
that's a bit much. But like, there's like 7 characters that are semi-playable that are like one and 2 drops. Okay. So like, there is a world where like you could really build an off-curve deck and make it work with I Have an Army.
This is also good with like if you have the Ironmonger support character and like your opponent's playing more of a rushy deck.
Yeah. Because
like they're probably a little wide, and then like you could build wide because you kind of have like all their doppelgangers out, and then you just pump the board, and you're kind of
and then all the dudes that you recruited of theirs are like bigger than the ones that they have.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Like, there's definitely a world where like Loyal Soldiers is a good card.
Yeah,
in a deck that can support it. This is Loyal Soldiers that for the price of your MC not getting one counter, you're not stuck on that team affiliation thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great card.
And then possibly even better card than that.
Yeah, because it says draw card, so it's
2 more grow in its place.
Okay.
Any combat.
Hail Hydra.
Choose a defender on your side to get +2/+0 this combat. So it's a half of a Savage Surprise.
Half Savage Surprise. That's bad.
If it gets KO'd this combat, draw 2 cards.
So it replaces itself.
Yep.
And it replaces the character that died. I mean, you had me at draw cards.
And likely is getting a stun back. So really you're...
2 attack, I guess so, though, man. Like, sometimes 2 attack will make or break an attack. Like, that's why Earthrise Heroes is as good as it is, right?
Yeah. And also, I mean, there's also a world where you play 2 of them on one defender.
So now I played Savage Surprise, and I'm just
you have a Savage Surprise for 2 cards, and then you draw 4 cards. So in that land, you've lost 3, and you're getting 1, plus you stunned their character. So you really come out like 2 cards ahead.
Listen, and then, in my world...
We're just all 4 making a raid!
Let's go. You attack my Drax, who has 1 wound on him already, with your Foom, and I'm going to stun you back, KO your Foom, draw 1,000,000 cards...
Well, I misread that card originally in the spoiler, and I thought it might have said you draw a card for each character you stun back. And so I was wondering if we could play it with like Abomination MC, and then like Monstrous him and 2 more grow in his place, and like kill 2 dudes and draw 2 cards.
That'd been good,
but that's not the way that card works.
It's fine. It's fine. And we have one last card to reveal.
The card's bonkers.
This card is a Marvel stamp. So as long as you're playing Marvel dudes,
hey, look, all the cards in the set are Marvel dudes.
So if you sit down across from someone and they're playing the MCU set, expect at least 2 of these in their deck, if not all 4. Between 2 and 4 of these will probably be in their deck.
Before you talk about the card,
okay.
There's one thing that this might hint towards. If they put the Marvel stamp specifically, it means that maybe in the future there may be a photo set that is not Marvel.
Now, the ones that come to mind that if we do get this will be Firefly, Buffy, Predator.
Yeah, there's a Predator movie coming out this year. And then Firefly and Buffy have both been legendary sets.
Yeah. So, and at Gen Con we're getting an X-Files legendary set.
So that's another one.
Yeah, like all of those are possible, and I know there's a lot of like fan following for each of those, right? So like I think any of them would be good for the game, because even if you don't necessarily like them, as like you're not going to go out and buy them yourself because you're here for the Marvel, right? More players for the game is just good.
Exactly. So,
yeah. He's a friend from work, which is like one of the best lines from that movie.
Although, if it hadn't been in the trailer, it would have been like a 10,000% better line.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Sorry, that's just a minor gripe.
Any combat, so on the attack or on the defense. If this works a little wonky, so we might have to go through this one. If all the characters in combat are good or evil, cancel the combat. So if all the characters are good or evil, so if all the characters are good, or if all the characters in combat are evil. Now that includes my side and your side.
Yes.
So if my Foom attacks your front row and you have a Thor, a Winter Soldier, and a Red Skull, we don't get the Think Again ability because there's a villain in there and the rest are good.
But if it was just like your Thor and a Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier is good.
Against my Foom, then it's a Think Again.
Yeah.
Now, otherwise, choose a character in combat to get +2/+2. So this card is 2 cards in 1.
Yes.
It's either a Think Again or it's an Earth Mightiest Hero. So
both those cards have to be really good, by the way.
Both of those cards are very playable. +2/+2 is great. Think Again is great.
Right.
Again, this card, expect at least 2. Like if your opponent sits now at MCU, at Origins or Gen Con, expect at least 2 of these, if not the full 4, because a combat pump for 2 is fine. It's great. like we said, sometimes that +2/+2 will swing a whole combat.
Yeah.
Think again is equally as good.
Yeah.
So,
cards.
I cannot wait to get into this card. So
yeah.
That's gonna be the end. I don't know. I think it went well.
I think so.
So it was fun to do. If everyone liked it, we'll do more when the other ones come out. They'll be shorter because they're the cigarette boxes, right? But what is your favorite card in the set? Mine. Yeah, that's a hard question, man. I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna go from the heroes because that's what I opened. My favorite hero card, man, it's gonna have to be Heimdall.
Heimdall's so good.
So, what's your guys' favorite card? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with Friend from Work because that card's so fun too. Like, that card's just like, it's gonna be weird because like it's gonna be one of those cards that it's gonna take a while to get used to playing it. Like when it, like being quick on, okay, I know it does this now. I know it does this now, but like. I think it's going to be like it really messes with attacks and maybe your opponent doesn't.
Also, and like reading when your opponent's like got it.
Yeah.
So because like if they put all their good dudes in the front row
against your food,
yeah,
right?
Just like do they have it? Are they trying to bluff it?
Right. So I don't know. Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't like about the opening. And this should now be at everyone's LGS unless you live in Europe. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, go out and check it out. It looks like it's gonna be a really fun set to bust in and play. So, thanks a lot, guys.